Hey, my Moist American Nation family. I'm at Whole Foods. A lot of times I told you in Annapolis, I've heard people say Mason. Oh my goodness. I never forget when Amore was talking about, because Amore was talking about how there's no real thing such as masonry and reference or Freemason. Now, this is before, when they said this, I didn't connect the dots of being among a controlled atmosphere where you're among those that they deliberately create to behave like an animal. Okay? So, in other words, they deliberately create an animal state of mind. And after they create this animal, they got to control it. Okay? Because, it's like, it's in a way, it's sort of like breeding dogs. Okay? When you breed a dog, you have them breeding dogs, or they breed horses. Okay, horses would be a better thing, but we can use dogs. Because, horses were used to carry hay, according to, you see so-called humans using the horses to pull them. You see them using the dogs. They said when the pale skin, they said, dogs were mainly used for protection a long time ago. But I seen what about Anubis had a dog face, so I don't. But anyway, Morris spoke about when dogs were used for protection when some of the pale skins were in a very harsh environment where they had to deal with other beasts, and so they trained the dog to protect them. And so, but they wanted more than one dog. So when you want more than one dog to help you, or to use it, you breed it, right? Okay. When you're dealing with those that have among those that have animal state of mind, but yet they go to school and they learn a trade, Islam. They have a bank account, Islam. Okay, credit, Islam. But yet, you have an animal. This animal is unclean. It's susceptible to viruses and diseases, and that it does spread viruses and diseases. So you start creating a different reality for the animal so you can control it. Because the person, the God that created, wants to continue to use it because it's energy, and they're using it for other means, Islam. So when I hear the word Mason and that which speak of the word Mason, and I think about how Moore said that it truly don't exist, that Morris actually tried to teach that which considered to be pale skin a form of science. Tried to teach them. So you have those you have those that consider themselves Shriners and so forth, secret sciences. All right. And so as it went on and on, the science was filtered, and so now you have a lot of those that are just being controlled to form. It's sort of like the Bloods and the Crips. Okay. Like you have the gang, the Bloods and the Crips. So the thing is, when you're dealing with masonry or that say they Masons, and they in there you got the pale skin African American, you got those that speak Spanish saying they Freemason or whatever, and what Mason, and they start doing all these hand gestures or whatever they want to do to show a connection. And yet they behaving like animals. They trying to rape, molest, they stalking. Then you're dealing with an animal. You're dealing with a slave that which is considered a god is trying to control Islam. And so when I first heard Moors speak of how there is truly no Freemason, it really does not exist. But what Moors did try to do is teach that which was pale skin, a form of science, a high science. And so that's what. So when I think of was it 34 Moors and 28 Anglo-Saxons that created the Constitution, because still to this day you have Moors or Moors and Angles, or those that look to be pale skin. I don't know the true chemistry of an Anglo-Saxon. I really don't, because Moors have shown Anglo-Saxons they're being very dark. The original Anglo-Saxons, Islam, which I was so shocked. They were showing the history of the word Anglo-Saxons, and they were showing the original ones were very dark. They were melanated. But that correlates to, at one time, all over the earth was extremely dark beings. And then as time went on, through breeding and experiments, then and other elements that happen, then your skin lighten up. But anyway, so I don't know the chemistry of the Anglo-Saxons that they are talking about when they speak of the 28 Anglo-Saxons. I don't know what's in their bloodline in the 34 Moors that created the Constitution. But what I can say is that when the Anglo-Saxons that I'm thinking about would definitely have some form of science or higher thought to come together with Moors and create an organic instrument, organic constitution. Okay? They had to have had a high thought process of freedom, Islam, and they understood the importance of that instrument, Islam. So now we're among a population where you have a huge amount of people who are out of the constitutional fold. You ask them what their nationality is, they say, I'm American. So so at first you think of that doesn't mean, oh, I'm black, I'm African American, I'm white. You think, when you don't know, you're like, oh, that's nothing. But those that know law, know constitutional law, they know exactly what has happened, and they know what's going on. And then, but yet you hear them say they're Freemason or they're Masons. Okay. Okay. So those that know constitutional law and have a higher thought process, they know exactly what's happening, and what they're doing.
Did you touch the ground like this?
Okay, because they know that a pale skin with no nationality doesn't have rights, who's outside of constitutional law. They know that immigrants that come over here and have not been naturalized properly, they truly don't have rights. Okay? If they have not been naturalized under the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, they know that another entity naturalized them and didn't do it the right way. Okay? And so they also know that if you're African American, you saying you're African American, you don't have a nationality. And those that know constitutional law, they know. So, but yet they're saying they're Freemason. So they know that. So I'm assuming, I think it's a strong assumption, the 34 Moors and 28 Anglo-Saxons that came together to create the U.S.A. Constitution of 1787 definitely had a high thought process in reference to science and freedom. So if you are unnaturalized Islam, if you're unnaturalized and according to a government, you're not considered to even be human. Okay? You are not even considered to be human. according to a government. Okay, but yet you're saying you a Mason. You're a Freemason. So that correlates to what Moors have said in the past about there's truly no real Freemasonry. It's a control factor to control those that they have created into an animal, or those that are an animal in state of mind, chemistry, and so forth. Islam, artificial to control them, so that they don't go around killing everybody every day. Islam. So anyway, so people can actually go shopping without experiencing foresharp pains, without being raped. So people can actually drive their cars without somebody trying to have a car accident, a forced car accident, killing children, women, and men. So people can actually go to their houses, don't have to worry about somebody being in their house trying to rape and rob them. Where citizens can actually walk up and down the road while somebody's trying to get their attention, and if you don't speak to them, they try to grab you. So that whole Freemasonry is definitely, it correlates to what Morris was saying. It is a control to control those that have an animal state of mind, or they have created into an animal. Islam.